This is where you head out first on rotation if you're on pool A. This is position 1 on baby pool. This is position 2 on baby pool, and just like the one at the splash pad, position 1, it is a roaming path. So this one we will be roaming all the way down to the ends, and yeah. This is the third position on the baby pool, and like number 2, it goes all the way up and down. Also, this person will have the walkie-talkie in their hand. The walkie-talkie for baby pool will be out.
This is our first position on the big pool. You will be watching this shallow end area and around the ramp area as well. This is the second position on the big pool. It is a roaming station, so you are roaming pretty much from this no diving sign all the way down to this by where the flagpole. You are watching the lap lanes here and all the way down. Again, it is a roaming station, not a stationary one. This is the third position on the big pool. Here you are primarily watching the end of the drop slide, and it is also your responsibility to watch the people that are inside the climbing wall area. This is the fourth spot on the big pool. Here you are monitoring the lines for the climbing wall to your left and the zip line to your right. Each person is to enter through this ladder and exit through the same ladder. The other thing with the zip line, you must be holding on to the zip line before you let them go. When the person is coming out of the pool, you have to be holding on to the zip line at all times. The other part of the zip line duty is you are facing primarily this direction. So you are also watching this area right here to the left of the bulkhead.
These are our lovely rules to the climbing wall. We have rules such as can't have a life jacket, one climber at a time, and they must have feet first entries, no flipping off the wall, anything like that, and only one climber per time. So please do not let anyone enter the water until the next person exits the water. These are our zipline rules right here. Basically, you just have to be able to swim, you can't have a flotation device on, and no one can be in the water with you. Okay? And if you see people doing sketchy stuff off it, please stop them and they're banned from the zip line. If you also see kids that can't swim, they're also banned from the zip line and the climbing wall as well. For this and the climbing wall, it's very important that if someone is above 250 pounds, you might need to enforce that. The important part about this position is that you are managing the lines here, and the lines will line up behind the white line. Please do not have swimmers line up right next to the zip line because that impedes your zone and you will not be able to see a thing. So lines start at the signs.
This is the fifth spot on the big pool. You can either sit in the chair or stand, but you need to be by the chair still. You cannot be all the way up here because you need to be watching this area and partially this area. You are also in charge of enforcing the basketball rules. The main rules of the basketball hoop are as such. No roughhousing, meaning no fighting over this lovely ball right here, and also not hanging on the rim. If you see people hanging on the rim, you are allowed to take the basketball away. This is where the walkie-talkie goes on the big pool. Make sure you are standing right here so that you can hear it. This is the optional sixth spot on the big pool. This is where we will add to the big pool if it is too crowded. When you are at this spot, you are watching this area here to help out the guard at the one spot. You are also going to be watching this area to be helping out the fifth person at the basketball hoop.
This is the first position on Lazy River. You will be mostly managing the zero depth entry and enforcing the rules as they are getting into the water, making sure everyone's doing okay. This is where the position and the walkie-talkie will be for Lazy River. It's really important at this position to make sure people aren't sitting on their tubes and scooching in because then they can pop and break. This is the second position on the Lazy River. Here you will be walking up and down this peninsula, just making sure everything is okay. This is the third position on the Lazy River. Here you will be walking to this ladder and a little past the ladder, and then all the way around here, we're really watching this curve. This is the fourth position on the Lazy River. Again, this is another roaming position. Almost all of our positions are roaming. So you'll be roaming a little bit to this diving, little past this diving sign, and then all the way back to this pole over here. You're really just watching here and the end of that curve over there. There is also a walkie at this Lazy River position. This is the 5th position on the lazy river. You'll stand right around this ladder and roam around this corner all the way to this no diving sign where Tori is here. You'll be again watching this curve and this little blind spot right here, right behind the green leaf. So this is the 6th position on the lazy river over on the island. You will be walking towards those two poles and a little bit past them, roaming and watching this curve right there. On windy and or cold or busy days, we might put the position here, and again you just walk down this way a little bit past the pole and come back to about right here. Again, this is our head guard's decision, and they will tell you when we are changing it. This right here is the 7th position on the lazy river. Again, it is another roaming position, but you don't roam very far. You only roam to about right here and then come back to right here. You're kind of honestly helping yank kids out of the water that get swept over here, or kids that are trying to come around here. You can also start enforcing the rules because this is an entrance.
Our lazy river has many rules to enforce, such as entry points to the lazy river can be located to my left here, the stairs located over there, and the stairs located behind my camera woman, Mad T. Rules in the lazy river include it has to be one per tube. If the child is too small to actually be in a tube and their head does not go above the tube when they stand, they are not allowed to be in the lazy river alone. Also, the kid is not to be allowed in at all on a parent's lap, or likewise, this is up to the head guard's discretion. On a very not busy day like today, maybe the head guard is like, it's perfectly fine to have that infant in your lap, but on a day where it's very busy, a head guard may enforce that today we are not doing that at all, okay? But by default, please enforce the rule, nobody on your chest. If there's anybody roughhousing in the lazy river, it's pretty dangerous for other people because they may get hurt. So it's very easy to just whistle over a head guard or the facility manager to kick them out and ban them from the lazy river. Give them one warning, and if they don't listen, get someone else to come kick them out. They must stay in their tubes at all time, and they must be one per tube. They can't flip over their tube. They can't sit on the top and keep flipping backwards on it as well. It's really important that if you see someone being unsafe or someone that may need to get out of the lazy river because they're not tall enough and they're getting swamped by the crowd, to take them out of the lazy river and inform them, maybe the lazy river is a little too busy right now, or you're too small to be in the lazy river alone. This is our first position on slides and stuff. Violet is a great demonstrator right here. You can sit right here, you can stand right here. What's important is that you're enforcing with everyone, cross your arms, cross your legs, and lay back at all times. For the drop slide, it's very important because if they sit up, they could nick their head on the top. Just remember to communicate or look with the person down there, that lifeguard over there, to make sure that the area is clear when you send another kid down, okay? Don't have them stand in the slide until it is ready to go. Have them stand outside the slide. Also located here, along this as well, we have a 48-inch mark right here and a 48-inch mark right here. You can use either of them. They are both the same distance. Remember to enforce the usual slide rules, such as no necklaces, no jewelry. Earrings are okay, but no necklaces, and goggles, no sunglasses, all the slide rules. If it's a very busy day, we enforce 4 per platform. So the platform that my camera woman, Mad T, is standing on, that will have 4 people on it. If it is very busy, then everyone else must wait down there, and you can motion them up on a busy day.
Here is the slide, sunscreen, and water station, right underneath drop slide. All right, so this is our second position on slides, which is the bottom of the slides. Brett is demonstrating so well how to do this. We will have a line on the ground. It is now washed off. That will separate red side people and blue and green side people. So the red side people will have tubes, the blue and green side people will not. This job of this person is to manage the line and check for necklaces and jewelry, all the other things that we don't allow on the slide, as well as listening to the radio. They are one of 3 radios, 3, that are different than all of the rest, as they are on a separate channel to communicate with each other. So they are not allowed to send people up to the slide platform or the top of the slides until the person up there radio is saying, you can take X amount of people, and then do it for each person. And then they'll probably tell you, I need 4 for green or blah, blah, blah. So you don't say, or send people until they radio down to you. If you need to measure a child because they look a little suspicious, here is your 48-inch mark. This is where the Lazy River water jug is located. There will also be sunscreen here. The top of slides is a big and fun job. What you'll be doing is you'll be sitting in this chair or standing with the flag here and the walkie in your hand. You will be communicating with the other two walkie-talkies, one down at the bottom of red and green, one at the bottom of slide sorry, I'm winded from the stairs, about whether to send people up. So you will be the one saying, hey, bottom of slides, you can send up X amount of people, and you will be sending the flags with the person down at blue. Alright, the flag system is a system that we use for blue slide only. It starts with the person down at the bottom of blue slide who is holding it out over the water right next to blue. They will start with their flag white on the end. They'll put it out over the water, and then as soon as I see that their flag is white, I flash white. You have to flash low because nobody can see you from your hips up, or at least the blue slide person can. As soon as I send someone, I flip it down red, and again I flash red. And once this person sees it, he will also turn it red. And then I leave it red until the person at the bottom of the slides is clear. And when that's the case, down there, they will start sending it white first. And then I will put it white again, like this, and the cycle will repeat.
This position up here is a lot of like a roaming position. So when you're walking around up here, you have the walkie-talkie with you. And there's some people right here too. If you ever feel like you only need to let in 2 at a time, we have carabiners right here, and all you do is click it in. So if you only want 2 people up here at a time, you can literally, or like 2 people per slide, you can literally just lock the other people out, and then, okay, you can come in. All right, pause. Let's go back to this over here. So feel free to go as slow as you want. It's not the end of the world if the slide is going really slow. What's more of a safety issue is if you have like 7 or like 6 people all up here and they're overwhelming you, especially when we get more of a rougher crowd. Please control the slide. So you have one thing up here. If we ever need help up here, you can radio down to the people behind you and say, stop sending people up. I can only take 3 at a time or whatever. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly acceptable if that's how you run the slide. We also need to enforce the necklaces and all that stuff up here as well. We have several 48-inch marks all around here. We have one there, we have one there, one there. We have one next to the green slide. So they could really get through all of these entrances and still, like as they're lining up for the slide right here, they still don't cross it and you see it and you can cut them off right there. If it's generally close enough, you can let them go. When they're waiting for the slide, have them wait outside the slide until it is completely clear. Do not have kids wait in the slide, because 9 out of 10 times, the kid will just go, okay? That's that. So an example of when someone is coming up to the slide and using the slide, I have my walkie-talkie in one hand, I have my flag in the other, and what I'm doing is Brett is about to get on the red slide here, the blue slide, whichever slide, and I'm radioing up. Red is clear. Okay, red is clear. You can go ahead and step into red for me. Remember, cross your arms, cross your legs, lay back the whole time, have fun. You can do whatever you'd like for this. You do have to say every single person, cross your arms, cross your legs, and lay back the whole time. When you're managing 3 slides at the same time, you can yell for everyone at the same time. Just say, remember guys, cross your arms, cross your legs, lay back the whole time. All right, you guys are good to go. Oh, here's this. Oh, wait, I'll do one more. The walkie-talkie for the slides up here is stored in your hands right here, so you can see everything and hear everything. The water and sunscreen up here is located right here. Feel free to rehydrate. From this position, we do allow rotating down the blue slide. To rotate down the blue slide, you do need to hold everything in your hands. So if you have sunscreen, your whistle, your fanny pack, or your tube, these all need to be located on top of you. And you can even sit up when you go down the slide to make it slower so you can hold on to everything, or you can lay back. But everything needs to be up and on the top of your person.
Here is your next position, again, the bottom of the blue slide. You will be manning the flags, right? You will be the one turning it white originally. And at this position, You're also making sure that if someone over here goes in for a save, you can provide emergency backup coverage there with your tube. All right, making sure that you're holding it over the water level. Bruh. Aiden. Oh, Aiden made it. Yes! And also watching this allow lane to fill water level line. If it ever goes below that, it is unsafe to use the blue slide. Call a head guard over immediately, and we will close the blue slide until it becomes further up above that line. Mr. Quinn Collins is at the 6th position. Actually, it might not be 6 anymore because we eliminated a few. Position on the red and green slide rotation. Here, he's standing with the radio, intently watching both red and green slide to let everyone know when
Red is clear.
is clear. So as soon as he sees the person come out of the slide and they're clear, he will use the radio and say, red is clear, or whichever one is clear. Another thing to remember is that when we whistle for a break, when we come back from the break, we have to wait till we get verbal confirmation from all of the pools before we signal to let everybody in. So most of the time, one of the head guards on the walkie will radio to each of the pools asking them if they're ready. So it would say, all right, big pool, are you ready? And then it would just go back on, and then we wouldn't whistle until everyone from all of the pools are ready.